Guys, welcome back. As you can tell in the last video, we did all the turbo stuff, so it's gonna be coming off here really soon. Right now, I'm getting this thing ready within the hour or so. I'm not sure, but my buddy's gonna be coming here to come pick the car up. We're gonna be towing it to my storage unit, and also with my Lexus. That Lexus is gonna be coming back this way to my house, so that one's gonna be drivable. And I think I'm gonna be insuring that car and registering. This one's out of here because it doesn't move. So, but for the next few weeks, I'm gonna be working on this thing, getting all prepped up, and there's gonna be a whole lot of work. So stay tuned on that, guys. But other than that, I'll see you at the storage unit. We're gonna be starting to work on this thing and doing a lot of clutch fitment. But see you there, guys. So guys, it's on the ground now. It's been so long that it's been on jack since. You know how that thing goes, but once you got a project car, it's always gonna be on Jackson, guys. But other than that, guys, it sits really good. I like how it came out. It looks like it's meant to be in there. So guys, let's get this ready, pull it out, and then once my friend gets here, we'll push it right up on the trailer. We should be good. But alright, so we're ready to put this up in there in the storage unit. It doesn't fit.
We need to steer it too.
You gotta steer.
Yeah, but how long is it out?
Hey, go that way just to hear what it's doing.
I got a whole bunch over here. I got like 6 inches. I ain't gonna be able to do it now.
Hey, hold on. Yeah, we're good on this side.
Yeah, I'm good over here.
Alright guys, all loaded up, ready to go. So, see you in the storage unit. Back in storage units, and we're actually going to be starting to pull the transmission out of this car, and hopefully everything goes well with the clutch fitment and all that stuff. So Other than that, guys, I'm hoping I can get this thing out of the way here soon. I'm not sure how long it'll be, depending on how much I work on it, but I am planning to work on this as soon as possible, as in within this week. Have it all ready, make sure everything works right. If everything works right, this will be getting pulled out for this week, most likely, but I gotta talk with my brother. I don't know what his plans are, but my plans are pulling this out and letting him get this prepped up. We get it all painted and all that stuff, because for this is gonna be a good bit of work for paint stuff. So either way, after that, I'm gonna actually start getting everything ready on this engine itself. Make sure I do a last bolt check and for all the main components on this stuff that I don't have to worry about later on. But either way, guys, I hope you liked the last video from all the turbo stuff. It's the simplest thing ever, and it wasn't too expensive either. So we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do here. Nothing here is completely on the car itself. It's all for mocking up, and just to make sure everything lines up how it should be and everything works where it needs to be, you know. But other than that, guys, I guess let's get working on this car, start pulling the transmission out. But it's gonna be a long night today, so I might try to have it done within the hour. It should be quick due to I don't have any axles in it, so that means I could probably just pop it out, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to hold this engine up in place. Either way, I'll probably just use a jack stand, a jack, or something of that sort that'll hold the engine up itself. But then again, I do have my solid mount over here that I did make. That should hold it in place. But alright, instead of talking, let's get to work, guys. So first things first, as you can tell, like I said, nothing's in place completely. Let's go ahead and pull this thing right off. This aside, and I forgot to bring the other pipe that I told you I was gonna actually cut up, since it will need to be completely cut due to the other one was an intake for a Nissan. So, and it does have a master flow sensor in the way. Sheesh. Alright, guys, so now basically I'm gonna show you how this thing comes out. For me, it's gonna be pretty simple due to I don't have my axles, so you don't have to worry about anything with the suspension on each side. So don't worry about that, guys. I'll show you the next time when I actually put it all back together, and I'll show you what you're gonna need. But first things first, remove your linkages. If yours are disconnected, just disconnect them. That way I don't have any kind of mounts here for mine just yet, since I will have to put them back in place, but I don't have them with me right now. So for me, it's gonna be like really quick, so I don't have to worry about that. But now what we got going on next is I'm actually gonna remove a few bolts for the actual trans housing here. And basically I'm gonna leave at least one on here just in case, probably on the bottom because I'm gonna be underneath doing this. And then I'm gonna be removing all my mounts from here, from there, and from the front one. So there's 3 mounts on the Eclipse, the 428 one, but since I am using the 428 transmission here, same thing, nothing changes. So let's go ahead and remove those. But first things first, let's jack this car up and get this stuff situated. Alright, guys, so these bolts right here, as you can tell, on top of the bell house, and these are some 17s. I only got a few of them in there just in case, because I didn't put everything back together. But yeah, everything's just from mock-up, like I said, so I don't have to remove plenty, or don't have to remove a lot of them. But I'm gonna remove the one up here just in case and go from there. But I do have one in the back as well, right over here, but I think that's the last one I'm gonna get. So what I'm gonna do is remove this one, go from there, guys. Bolts here. These are already loose. Like I said, everything is mocked up, so don't say nothing. It'll be pretty straightforward for me. now I'm actually going to be removing these bolts right here. 1, 2, 3, and that's for the rear mount. But at this point I should put some kind of support, but I haven't. So let's just go ahead and loosen them up first. These are some 14s, not 13s. Yeah, we need a new one, guys. So there's that. Now that we got that one out of the way, let's go ahead to the front one. This one's a really quick one. It's just a 14, so let me skip this part. Just like that. That comes right out. No issues at all whatsoever. Right here is gonna get a little sketchy myself, but before we do anything else, I am removing the last 2 bolts here from my slave cylinder. So I'm gonna give you as many details as I can, because if you are gonna be doing this thing and removing the you're gonna have to remove this throttle body, because it's in the way of the transmission to actually pull out towards the front. So let's go ahead and remove that real quick. Guys, I should have left the bolt in there, because as you can tell, I pulled the bolt out and I'm over here trying to remove this mount so I can remove my slave cylinder, and this is coming out. And it's ready to come out, and it's heavy now. So guys, I wasn't able to pick it up myself and it just like fell. So at least the trans is out. Alright guys, so it's finally out. Here's the Mitsubishi flywheel. There's the clutch. This one is the one that bolts in place. But either way, it's a test piece, nothing crazy. As long as everything engages and works fine, I'll do that. But I'll take this, dang, I should take this to work and clean it up. But it's just for research purposes. We're gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna make sure everything's good and go from there. But might call it a night, go home, shower, and come back tomorrow and actually do all that and have someone here to help me actually put it in place. Most likely my brother, I'm not sure yet. So other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. If anything, leave it in the comments below, like I said. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. As you can tell, I did put a fuse EGR delete from the Eclipse, the same thing, it'll fit. Same with the cam sensor and all that. But a lot of stuff from the Eclipse here and there. Same with the coil pack, wires, everything. All the same from the Eclipse because they're brand new. And this is the mounting plate, as you can tell, for the Mitsubishi Eclipse 428. You've seen it before, and yes, if you want to know, they actually line up the same way. Nothing's crazy. Everything for the actual flywheel side over here on the back, it's the same as the Eclipse for the 428. It hasn't changed a lot. All right, guys, so as you can tell, I am back in the storage unit because I've been lazy. Well, not lazy, I was at the gym, just got here. Now it's 8:30-ish, but we're gonna start putting the clutch in, transmission in, and make sure everything works right. I'm just gonna button it up and make sure it at least engages. If I see the clutch engage, I'll do that and go from there. And if it's all good, we're gonna pull everything out and order all the new parts for next week. So once this gets all painted, putting whole new suspension in the front, the coilovers, they don't have much miles. We're gonna clean everything up. We're just gonna see how things go from here. So cross my fingers, everything goes well without any issues. But yeah, let's get going. Let's pop this clutch in place and go from there. All right, guys, so here's the clutch. Yes, it's rusted. This is the older one from when we first took out the car, and I kind of left it outside. Now, as you can tell, it's all rusted, but this is only for testing purposes. We're not going to put this in the actual car itself, but this does have its own alignment or its own way that it goes through. But first things first, I'm gonna have to find my bolts. I don't know where they're at, but I do have a bolt place here. And first things right here, let me pop this in place. This thing goes just like this. Just like that. But before we do anything else, alright guys, so as you can tell, I popped this in place. So this does have its own way to go in. Right now, I had to figure it out, but I already got that situated because it's been so long since I took this apart and I totally forgot how it went, but I figured it out. It does have its own lining, its own spacer here, and its own dot to line everything up just right. So you can turn this all you want and it ain't gonna line up. So I've already checked each hole, but since you do have your little mark here, you're gonna go ahead, put that in place where it lines up, and same with this. And make sure that lip actually faces towards the transmission, not like this, because if it does sit like that, you're gonna have a good bit of space and it's gonna just end up squishing this and it won't be good. So as you can tell, tiny hole there, put it right here. You're all lined up, good to go. Now put your bolts in. So guys, I don't know if you can tell, go ahead and put these in place. I'm only gonna put 3, because that's all I have. So I'm gonna have to order some or try to find the other ones, but I can't find anything of that. Go ahead and put these in. I might have the other bolts on the other side, but I don't, like I said, it's mocking up time. Not trying to do anything crazy here. Let's go ahead and pop that clutch in and go from there. You know, talking about the clutch, it's going to be a pain in the ass to put this in. So, let's go ahead and turn this crank right here. This should give me enough room to pop one in here, maybe. It's going to have to be from the bottom, actually. I'll go grab that clutch, guys. Alright guys, so as you can tell, clutch is in. It was kind of a pain in the ass because these do have the bolts on the back to hold the flywheel and clutch plate together, as you can tell right here. It all clears, but this is kind of slightly bent, but either way it's going to be pressured on there, so it's not going to be in the way at all. But so far, stock Mitsubishi clutch on the Srt4 has mounted in place without any issues with the stock crank bolts here for the flywheel. So other than that, guys, let's keep going. My main part right now is putting this trans in and checking the fitment of the clutch and see if it actually engages how it should be. You're gonna see what happens here, but so far so good. Fingers are crossed. All right, so guys, found my clutch fork. I was freaking out because I couldn't find this, but I'm gonna put this on the trans, and so far everything bolts up with no issues at all whatsoever. So let's keep continuing and see if actual transmission will work with here. So far, like I said, if it works, I'll be surprised. And the only thing I'm going to be doing, if it works right, I'm actually going to be upgrading this clutch to a stage 3 just in case. And eventually, if they sell rebuild kits for these for something that'll hold a lot more power, we'll do that, because this is a spare one. It does need a little bit of rebuild on this. But either way, let's go ahead and pop this in place. I'm gonna go get this ready. My brother's gonna come here and actually help me with it. So yeah, let's pop this in place real quick. Nothing crazy, just like this. Actually, I don't even have my damn throwout bearing. All right, guys, so I got a little issue here. Nothing crazy, it's just I don't have a part. So basically, It's in. Transmission. I found the fork for it, but I think I remember I actually threw away my throwout bearing, so without the throwout bearing I can't check anything. So I think I'm gonna just call that a night. I'll start editing this video and get it all situated because I do have a lot to catch up on. I'm gonna get a throwout bearing ordered and just for test fitment, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna lock this up and then just start. I'm gonna see if I can get one tomorrow and go from there. I haven't had any issues at all whatsoever. If I did, I would have known by now. But so far, so good. So, see you tomorrow. That kind of sucks that I don't have it here. Hopefully, I can actually put this transmission in place just by myself. I'm gonna get a jack and jack it up real good. And hopefully everything goes smooth, guys. But let's go ahead and start dropping that thing in and going from there. It's hot in here. We'll take a quick breath, but let me turn back and show you. As you can tell, the transmission is in. We're gonna see how the clutch feels. I don't know, there's a lot of play there, but we'll see what happens. Let me check underneath real quick, see how it goes. But wish me luck. Alright guys, so I had to pull this out again. Oh, not all the way. Good thing I had some long bolts, like these long ones right here. I was actually able to pull this out a lot because of my fork. The clip that holds it in place broke off, so it was just not in the place, so everything was out. And like I said before, this was a little bit loose. Now, as you can tell, nice and tight. I already looked in there, and I'm gonna show you here real quick with the light. Hopefully you can tell, but no play at all. Everything in there, I'm not sure you can tell. That's in place, and as you can tell back there is right on the clutch, like how it should be, nice and tight, no issues right there. I'm gonna go ahead and push that clutch in and make sure it feels right. So cross your fingers if it works. Moving the truth, guys. Sit down. Okay, something ain't right. I think there's no fluid in it. Alright guys, so I'm gonna gravity this for a little bit. Pump up the brake. I put some fluid in it. It's slightly dripping now. Let's go ahead and pump this up. Get some fluid at least flowing through it. Alright guys, so the way I'm bleeding this, just for me to show you, is I pump up the brake. And so you can tell, put a block of wood there and move the seat up. Been working fine. I have more pressure now. So you can tell it's engaged right there. But I'm gonna put the camera so you can see it's actually working. I haven't seen it yet or proved it, but let's finish bleeding it and then we'll check that. All right guys, cross your fingers. Moment of truth. Let's go ahead and start recording this. Let's see if it works. The pedal feels amazing. I'm not complaining about it, so let's see how it does. Let me know if that moves. I'm gonna be in the car and pumping that clutch pedal up, so let's check that out. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and push that clutch in. Now. Off, on, off, on, off, on. I feel like I hear something over there moving. I'm guessing it's a good thing. Let me go ahead and check that footage and see how it went. Guys, so the other day or the other night, it kind of got a little late. I finished checking this over, and as you can tell, the clutch, slave cylinder, they work properly how they should be. Everything in there moves how it should be. So right now I'm actually going to put all this back together, and I got a few more things to do, as in my fuel regulator, my coolant reservoir, my catch can, and possibly a few other things. But that's the only 3 main things I need left on this car to get it all finished up, mocked up. Cause before we paint this, I want to make sure everything in this car is set, because we are painting the engine bay as soon as this comes back right out. So once we get it all set, we'll get everything all pulled back out and start doing some prep work, painting, all this stuff. So other than that, transmission wise, I'm running a stock 5-speed Mitsubishi Trans, and it actually bolts up to the engine without any issues at all. Straight bolt on. And same with the clutch. Clutch bolts in, no issues at all whatsoever. I've already checked if the clutch works. Clutch works amazing. No issues at all whatsoever with me installing everything in there. I'm using stock mounts for the transmission. The one in the rear side and the front right here. Yes, you can make this Srt4 work on the cheap side. You just need a little bit of taste of doing a little bit of modifying here and there. Nothing crazy. Like I said, it's been really cheap with this build. I haven't really stressed too much on it, but it's doable. So here's most of the stuff that you're going to be doing with the car. So I'll keep y'all updated but with this build. But if anything, leave it in the comments below. And I think that should be it, guys, for this video. And I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully you enjoy the build. Remember to like and subscribe. And it would be great for me to do more builds in the future for you guys and some crazy things, you know. I want to be different, but here you go, guys. See you on the next one.